สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับพร้อมแล้วครับ
Greetings to everybody. Welcome to another Zoom meeting where we discuss the Buddhist practice of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join our meeting. If you want to ask questions, you will have to come into the room, into the Zoom. If you're not asking any question, you can watch live on Facebook or YouTube. We shall begin with our first participant, which happens to be Felicia from Malaysia.
Good evening, Prajan. My meditation progress is good. I don't have question for tonight. Thank you for your Dhamma teaching.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Sajal Khan from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Thank you for your teaching. I have one question that, like Ajahn Jeff always, writes about the skillful, the word skillful, the activities or something in our practice. So how does that fit into what we have learned through you about mindfulness and being the cornerstone of the practice and of course sitting meditation, kind of going between back and forth, mindfulness and practice meditation whenever possible. So could you please comment on the mindfulness, because he actually kind of dwells on the mindfulness, skillful all the time. What does it mean?
It means that you are doing the things that will get rid of your dukkha. Anything that you do that can get rid of your suffering, your dukkha, that it is considered skillful. Like mindfulness, like meditation, like contemplation of wisdom. These are all skillful action. As opposed to watching YouTube, watching Netflix, and going to bars and pubs, and these are not skillful action. Okay. Skillful means wise, knowing what is good for you and what is bad for you. Do the right thing. Do the thing that is good for you, and the thing that is bad for you, you should avoid doing. But this is being skillful in deciding which is good or bad for you. And this is by interpretation. What is in interpretation, I don't know. So it might be different. You have to ask him yourself.
No, actually, I read his things, but there is the thing about the too much use of the thinking process, which is, I think, kind of a departure from what we are learning here, because he's thinking and being skillful. I'm thinking that's like, I'm thinking, but like the too much of the use of the intellect and engage in thinking. So isn't that like a fabrication or something? Yeah.
Normally, our mental fabrication are usually unskillful. We're thinking of making money. We're thinking about fame, power, like people running for offices. These are unskillful thinking in terms of Buddha, in terms of Dhamma, because they all lead to suffering. They all lead to dukkha. Any action that will lead us away from dukkha, that's the skillful action. So what we discuss here are all skillful action. Dana, charity, morality, keeping the precepts, and practice meditation, mindfulness meditation, and wisdom or insight meditation. These are skillful action that will lead us away from suffering, from dukkha, forever. Okay, is that clear to you now? Anything
Thank you.
else you'd like to follow up?
No, thank you.
Not now, okay. Billy from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have.
No question, okay. Kafai Lim from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajaan. I'm glad to listen only. No question for tonight. Thank you.
Okay, Nanapat from Ubon Thani, Thailand.
ค่ะนมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I don't have any question right now ค่ะ
By the way, Ubon Thani is the province where Ajahn Chah used to live in. Wat Pa
วัดหนองปากพง
Wat Nong Pa Pong, there in Ubon Thani, in northeastern Thailand. Namo next, Namo.
Namaskaran, Thanajan. I have something that I want some advice from you, Thanajan. So I decided to join the Zoom today.
Go ahead.
So basically my mom, she has like a serious headache problem, and I think she's like suffer and stressed from it, and I want to help her, but I don't know how, because like I told her not to be stressed out, but she just like said she's not stressed, but I can see from her like facial expression of how stressed she is right now. So I want to know, like, Thanajan, is there any way I could help my mom from this suffer?
Only if she asks you for your help. If she doesn't ask, then just keep quiet. It's none of your business. Maybe it's a lose of faith for her to ask you for help. You know? So she probably won't ask you for help.
Yes, Thanajan. I'm just like worried for her, and I don't want her to be like sad and suffer.
Well, you just have to think of it in terms of that's her karma. This is the consequence of her karma.
John, I think I need to accept that. I cannot help her because I'm not a doctor.
That's right. If she doesn't ask you for your help, then you should just stay quiet. Do your work. Try not to stress her. Try not to do things that will make her more stressful by your action. That's the only thing you can do. Try to do good, behave yourself, study hard. Yeah. Then it might make her happy. Every time she sees you, and she can become happy. This is the only way to make her happy. Is to be good, study hard, do nothing wrong. Then she can be proud of you. Every time she think of you or see you, she can be happy.
Yes, Thanajan, I will need to try that. Thank you, Thanajan.
Okay. Don't do anything that will make her sad or sorry. Okay.
Yes, Thanajan.
Good. Is that all? Okay. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Ajaan, no questions for now. Thank you.
Okay. Claudia Srina or Swina, right?
Good afternoon from Germany, Tana-chan. Yeah, Zwiener, but it's okay to say just Claudia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back to our meeting again after a long absence. I hope you're happy and well.
Yeah, we have school vacation now for 2 weeks. I'll use the first week to retreat as much as possible and to meditate because our son left our family and I have much more time for myself. And I'm very glad that I'm able to be at the conference today.
Good. Any question you would like to ask?
Not now, maybe later.
Okay. I'll go to Coxsang then from Singapore also.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. Tonight I have two questions. First one is about meditation. So just want to check with Ajahn. I found that nowadays whenever I meditate, I will tense. The tears will flow down, and then my nose will the nose will the blocked nose will breathe very hard, and after that the mucus will come up. So I'm just thinking, is this part of the detox process of the body? So when we are sitting down in meditation, the body will tends to cleanse itself of the toxins that is in our body. So the tears will flow down from our eyes, and then the mucus will flow out from our nostrils. Just want to verify with Ajahn. Is this a
Did this happen all the time? Every time you meditate?
Almost most of the time. Yeah.
Well, this is unusual. It never happened to me before. So I cannot really answer this question.
Okay. My second question is regarding Ajahn, you were mentioning that we should have a mindset of a servant, lower ourselves, and so on. So I was trying to relate this to one of the incidents recently. So what happens is that one of my Buddhist friend has a gathering for about 20 person. So I volunteer my help to him to help him to fry noodles for 20 person. So so my thinking was I just go over to his house and then with all the ingredients available, and I just do the frying of noodles there. So initially he turned down my offer because he find that it's difficult to have two chefs in the kitchen. But later on, a few weeks later, he decided to take up my offer. So, but his intention was I have to bring all the ingredients over to his place and then do the frying. So when I thought about that, I was thinking, hey, this is am I and instead of being a guest, I'm like being lower to that as equivalent to his domestic maid who is supposed to do the frying of the noodles. So I just want to reconcile Ajah's teaching about having a mindset of a servant. So in what kind of environment setting do we lower ourselves as a servant?
Whenever you meet people, think yourself as a servant to that person or those people. So you say nothing, you just wait for people to tell you what to do. If they don't tell you what to do, if they don't ask you anything, then you just listen. You don't have to say anything. If you're a servant, right? If you're a waiter, you just wait.
Yeah.
Let the guest order the food or whatever. Then you do what they say, what they tell you to do. If they don't, then you just don't have to do anything.
So does it mean that we let ourselves be, say, taken advantage by others?
No, if you think you're being taken advantage of unnecessarily, then you just have to protect yourself by leave the meeting. Don't do any fighting. Just excuse yourself and just go. If you find the meeting is not productive.
So the question is, where do we draw the line to lower ourselves, having a mindset of a servant, and at the same time not to be being taken advantage of?
Yes, you have to find it out yourself. Like this line is arbitrary. You have to draw it yourself. When it makes you feel good, that's the line. When it makes you feel bad, then you're not lowering yourself down yet.
Because I was also thinking, if we don't do ourselves, and then is it because our ego is too strong, the pride is there, and therefore we are not able to lower ourselves?
That's right. You should be, let others treat you like dirt. And you don't care whether they treat you, because it's not your business to tell them how to treat you. You cannot force them or tell them how to treat you. If they want to treat you like dirt, that's fine. It sounds stupid or sound crazy, but if you can do it, then you'll never get angry. You'll never feel hurt, because you already expect the worst from everybody. Don't expect anything better than the worst from people. Then you'll never be sorry. You'll never be sad. You'll never be disappointed.
And and Ajahn, and do we relate this to I remember you always mentioned the four immeasurables always refers to our interactions with people. So this having a mindset of a servant, how do we relate this to the four immeasurables?
For what?
The four immeasurables, that means metta, karuna,
well, you can still have friendship. You can still be friendly with everybody. Even though they're not friendly to you, you still can be friendly to them. You can smile at them, say hi to them. How are you, sir? How are you doing? And if they scold you back and say, okay, that's fine. If they need help, give them help. If they win something, you just congratulate them. And if there's nothing else you can do, then you just remain still. Don't do anything. You can do this with everybody anywhere. It has nothing to do with lowering yourself as a servant. A servant can still have the four Brahma Vihara. Everybody can have the four Brahma Vihara. Everybody should practice four Brahma Vihara, whether they're kings or beggars. Because it will make them happy if you can do it. The four Brahma Vihara will make your mind peaceful and happy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
You think you can do it?
I will have to go through the test.
If somebody spit on your face, what would you do?
If it's accidentally, it's okay. But if let's say it's a deliberate, I think I'll be very angry.
How do you know whether they're intentional or not? What difference does it make whether it's intentional or not? Your face is dirty anyway, right? This is a test for you too. to think and consider.
Okay,
So-
I'll think about it. Yeah.
The rule of thumb is to expect the worst, then you will never be disappointed or sad or surprised. You will never be surprised if you expect the worst from everybody.
Okay, expect the worst. Okay.
Yeah. Hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Next, Gary, also from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm just listening tonight. No questions. Thank you.
Okay. We come to Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan.
Good evening, Tanajan.
Don't have any questions. I'm glad to be listening in tonight.
Okay. Monica and Sinyi, also from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Good evening, Tanjan. Good to be at the session today.
Yeah, any question?
Yeah, actually, I listened to the challenges by Kok Sing. I realized that I personally also find that the more I practice, the more the mind always run out, and then there's a lot of tensions. But when the mind withdraws, I find that there's a lot of peace. So how do we actually discipline, when we are being controlled by what called the mind is being controlled? How do we discipline ourselves?
You need mindfulness to get your mind to equanimity.
Okay.
And then you want to maintain equanimity with wisdom. To see everything as anatta, beyond your control. Everything, they are like natural process. They are like work of nature, like the sun and the rain and the storm. If you can see everything like that, then you can accept it, right? You can accept the storm, right? You can accept the rain. The rain makes you wet. But if somebody throw water at you, you get angry. You get wet the same way. You get the same thing. You get wet. But you get angry because you think the person is not a natural process. We have to look at everything as a natural process and work of nature, natural phenomena. This is our delusion to think that we separate nature, we separate human from nature. And human is part of nature. Is nature itself. We are nature, but due to our delusion, we separate ourselves from nature. Because all we are the five elements, right? Our existence composed of the body composed of the four elements: fire, earth, water, fire, and wind. And the fifth element is the mind, the one who knows. That's all we are. We are elements. We are natural. We are work of nature. But we don't see that. We see as Malaysian. We see as woman, man. We see as rich or poor, boss or servants. When you see this thing, then you get attached to this value. And then you act unnaturally.
Yeah, I think maybe the mind is forgetful.
Yeah. Anatta, the Buddha says, Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. Everything is anatta. Human is anatta. The rain is anatta. The sun is anatta. The wind is anatta. The earth is anatta. Everything is anatta. No self. The mind is anatta. There's no self in the mind. So the mind should not react to anything. The mind should just merely know. The mind is a knowing element. It can think. So teach it to think in terms of anatta. Everything is anatta. That's all. It's very simple. When you do this, just recite anatta all day long. Whoever you see, just say they are all anatta. They are wind, they are rain, they are sun, they are moon, whatever.
I think maybe I get an idea. Maybe I think I should get a poster to remind myself.
No, you cannot. You have to use. You have to remind yourself with yourself, not anything else. Because you cannot carry a poster with you all the time.
Okay. Yeah, I think sometimes when the mind remembers, then it will start chanting, is it? But do the mantra. But then when you forget, then you run away. Then the tension comes in.
Yeah, because your delusion is still very strong in your mind.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's still directly to look in terms of supposition. Everything that we consider to be all supposition. Supposed to be human, supposed to be animal, supposed to be male, female, father, mother, son, and daughters. These are all supposition. Label we put on the 4 elements, which is the body.
Sometimes the mind is clear, but sometimes, most of the time, it's not clear.
You look at your daughter and say, "Oh, she's my daughter." You cannot say she's just my 4 elements or 5 elements, including her mind.
Yeah, when I think of her in this way, I won't get angry. But
That's
then,
right.
But then when I forget, then I'll get angry.
That's right. So when you get angry, you can tell yourself you already forgot what you're supposed to tell yourself, that she's just nature, she's anatta. This is quite deep.
Yeah, true, yes.
But it's quite simple once you know the trick, All we have just the 5 elements. We are the 5 elements that run around in the 6th element, which is space.
Yeah, sometimes the mind is convinced, but when it gets busy, then it's like, the mind doesn't believe in it, or don't want to think about it also. So that's where it goes around again. Yeah, but it's good. At least I come here and listen, then the mind comes down again.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to keep on reminding myself.
Okay. You might be able to remember for maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Then you're back to what you used to think again.
I have to work harder. Yeah.
Okay.
Still working very hard at it. Thank you.
Yeah. Next, Ubo Ubeka, Alfredo from Brazil.
Hi, Bante.
Good morning to you. What time is it in your home, your country?
What
time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in the morning.
AM, yes.
AM, okay. So you had your breakfast?
At 7 o'clock.
7. And you have your lunch. You have your lunch in 2 hours.
Only bread and eggs.
Bread and eggs, okay. And coffee and juice?
Only coffee.
Only coffee.
No sugar.
No sugar.
No sugar.
Orange juice? Any orange juice?
No.
No.
Only lime.
Lime. Okay.
No water. Only lime. Lime with mel.
Milk.
Mel is sugar.
Okay.
In English is mel.
You do your cooking yourself, right? You have no wife, nobody to cook for you, right?
Yes, I have a machine that do beans and a machine.
You live like a monk. You live alone like a monk.
Yes, I live alone.
So you're like a monk, pretty much like a monk.
Yes, I meditate. I like to meditate 3 or 4 hours today.
Okay.
I like to do exercise and tonight dancing.
Walking meditation is a good form of exercise.
Yeah. On past I did a lot of walk meditation. Now only sit meditation, Bante.
You
I
need
prefer
to,
I prefer sit meditation.
yes. But when you exercise, you should meditate also when you exercise.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Just like when you're sitting, when you're exercising, also meditating with your exercise at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
By what you exercise.
My exercising in academy have
Yeah.
and
Just be mindful of what you do, what you exercise.
yes, 24 hours.
Then you are meditating.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's like walking meditation. You can call this exercising meditation.
Yes.
You should be meditating in every posture, in every action.
Yes. Yeah. It's a little difficult, Bante, but I try.
Yeah. If you try, if you do it for a while, it will come easy. It's just a matter of not used to doing it. Makes it difficult. But once you become more acquainted, then you will find it easy to do.
Yes.
You can meditate all the time with whatever you do. Kaya kata sati, Buddha said, mindfulness of your body action. Kaya kata sati.
Yes. Yes. The main practice.
When you're eating,
kaya,
you can meditate when you're eating. When you're eating, you can also meditate by watching what you eat.
Yes. Vipassana.
No, mindfulness, sati.
Yes.
Just keep watching.
Doing.
Yeah.
Nike slogan. Just do it.
Just keep watching what your body is doing.
Yes.
Don't go someplace else. Don't let your mind go to any place except what your body is doing. Then you're meditating. Like when you sit, you watch your breath or you recite a mantra. It's the same way with whatever you do.
Yes. Sampajana.
Yes.
Yes. I try, but I try.
Okay, good. You have.
I like it. I like the vision you tell about anatta. It's very good.
Okay, everything is anatta.
Yes. No God, no self.
Nothing. No self. There are things, but they are not self. They are elements.
Yes.
They are the 5, 6 elements.
Yes.
Okay. Good to see you this week.
Good to you, Bante.
All right.
Thanks for teaching.
Okay. Keep practicing. You're close now. You're closer to Nibbana now than last week. Because you keep moving, because you keep practicing. The more you practice, the closer you come to Nibbana.
Yes.
The less you practice, then the further away are you from Nibbana.
Yes.
Look at it this way. It's like driving home, right? If you keep driving, then you're closer to home. If you stop driving, then you're far away from home. You're not getting closer to the home.
Yes.
So keep practicing with every breath of your life.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I use this life very good with Dhamma.
Yeah. Dedicate this whole life for Dhamma only. Nothing else.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
No stress.
Okay.
Good, Bante.
Good. Bye-bye. Next, Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I'm just listening in, no question. Thank you.
Okay. Sri and Czech from Vancouver, Toronto, Canada.
Ajaan?
Good evening, Ajaan.
Okay. What is your comment today?
Ajahn, just now you said to Monica that there's no, like, we are all 5 elements, but we when not when we're not enlightened, we see like we take the like take as male, female. We have I guess we take on something.
We put label on people's body.
Label, and you said that, and therefore we don't act naturally. What does that mean?
Because we don't see the body as the 4 elements, as the nature, work of nature. We see it as human, as a person.
So we don't act naturally, like when we are.
That's right. You don't act naturally.
No. So what is acting naturally?
If you act naturally, you just let it be, let everything be. You put makeup on your face, this is not natural. Right? You fix your hair, these are our unnatural acts.
Oh.
You don't put things on trees, do you? You don't put makeup on trees, do you?
We put Christmas light, Ajahn. That's not unnatural, right? That's our problem, not the tree. The tree didn't ask us to put the light.
So you leave the trees alone. That's natural. But you should leave your body alone. That's natural. Only look after it so that it exists. That's all. You don't have to do anything, unusual. Let's put it that way. Unnatural, like dyeing your hair, for instance.
Because I think like when I think because I'm not enlightened, so I think like the way you see natural and my way of seeing natural must be very different. Like I think like when you see when you think that we are unnatural, I don't see it. I think I believe
it's natural for the body to get old, to get sick, and to die, and we resist this nature. We don't want it to get old, get sick, or die. This is unnatural. And when you have a natural attitude toward nature, then you get dukkha, you get conflict, because the reality and your reality and the real reality is different. They are in opposition. They are opposing. Your reality is the body must not get old, must not get sick, must not die. But the real reality is it will get old, get sick, and die. That's the natural way. That's natural, to get old, get sick, and die. But to have the desire not to get old, get sick, and die, this is not natural. That's why it produces dukkha. Whenever you want something that is unnatural, then you are creating dukkha for yourself. Understand?
So Ajahn, when we keep reciting Buddha Buddha, that's back to natural state?
No, this is stopping your mind from creating unnatural thoughts.
Oh.
And when you can stop your mind from creating unnatural thoughts, the next move is to teach you to think in the natural way. Think of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Because everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Not niccang, sukhang, atta, as we think. We think everything is permanent. If we have something, it's gonna be with us, stay with us forever. Everything will make us happy all the time, right? And it belongs to us. It will never leave us. But this is not the truth, right? The truth is whatever you get, sooner or later it will change, you will lose. And the happiness you get from it will turn into dukkha, sadness. and it might not be with you all the time. Sooner or later, it will be separated from you. So first you have to stop your mind thinking in terms of unnatural way. And then we can stop it from thinking unnaturally. Then you teach it to think naturally. Every time you see something, you say, oh, this is all anicca, anatta. And if you cannot accept anicca, anatta, then you'll get dukkha. See what I mean? Right now, every moment of your thoughts are all unnatural. I want happiness. I want everything to be fine. I want everything to be good. Like last Sunday, I think a journalist from Sri Lanka asked a lot of questions. And she asked about how to do with the bad situation in her country. So she wants her country to have good situation. Everything, everybody happy, no strife, no problem. But everywhere in the world is like this. It's natural for the world to be like this. Because that's the way it is. That's why it's natural. Because no one created them, right? No one wants bad thing to happen. But it happens, right? And nature doesn't say it's good or bad. We are the one who put label on it. So nature just rise and cease. When things rise, we say it's good, but when things fall, we say it's bad. When they come together, the Buddha said, whatever rises will have to fall sooner or later. Anicca. Anatta, you cannot stop this process. So you have to understand this process and then flow with it. Don't go against it. Swimming against the current is difficult. Flow with the current is easy. No stress for the mind when you flow with the current. When you flow with reality. When you swim against reality, then you get exhausted. You become stressful. That's why you have to understand anatta. Everything is natural. Everything happens is a work of nature. Don't ask why. Just say this is the work of nature. This is how nature works. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. You have sunrise, you have sunset. This sort of thing. But we only want sunshine. We don't want darkness, right? We don't want cloudy sky. We want sunshine. Okay, so you have to practice mindfulness to stop your old habit of thinking. Your habit of thinking is unnatural. Stop it and then teach it to think naturally. Think in terms of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Everything is anicca and anatta. If you cannot see them as anicca, anatta, you will try to change them. When you change them, you get dukkha. Okay, any question?
Ajaan, like for example, last night when I saw a dog and it's a baby crossing a highway, and of course, like unnaturally, like we're thinking, oh no, it will get killed. But the second time when I drove by, maybe I saw like a body like of a dog, and then initially my mind felt like not wanting it to happen or suffer. But then I remember you telling us that you taught us that, like, things will happen. Either like we die anyway, but either we die by accident or we die by any other ways. Then at that time, the mind feel release. Of course, it's not. And then Jack remind me, like, not to, like, sometimes if we overdo it, we'll feel not compassion. So going back to your question is like, if my mind feel like, when I see this kind of thing, I feel like, suffer. I mean, this is not natural. The mind doesn't want this to happen. But then
this is the natural, because it will happen. Death will come to all of us, either we like it or not. But we don't think in terms of this. We think that we'll live forever. Have you ever thought that you might die today?
Once in a while, yes.
But not today, right?
Yeah,
you
not
forgot
today.
to think that. You should think about it every day, the Buddha said. Every breath.
Yeah.
Every time you breathe, when you breathe in, when you don't breathe out, you die. When you breathe out and you don't breathe in, you die. And you don't know when you will stop breathing, right?
or how, like, or how we die.
Doesn't matter how. It's a matter of but when you stop breathing, that's and it can stop anytime. You can never predict when. You can never say when. You cannot say, "I'll stop breathing 50 years from now." But we like to think like that, right? We're gonna live into a ripe old age here.
Yeah. When I see like, oh, this suffer, right? And then I feel suffer. I mean, my mind doesn't want to see this. Doesn't want to see this thing happen.
Yeah, if you see it happen, then if you accept it, then you see no suffering. You see it's a natural process.
Yeah, okay. But at the same time, when we see suffering, we have to feel compassion.
You don't need to. You can feel equanimity. Why you have to feel compassion when there's nothing you can do already?
Yeah.
You should feel compassionate only when you can help that person. If you can help that person, prevent that person from dying, then do it. This is being compassionate.
Oh.
But when the person already died, why be compassionate? Doesn't do any good.
Okay.
You just have to know the right time to be compassionate, not the wrong time. When somebody died, then you have to have equanimity. You have to wake up. This is the natural process.
So Upeka, sometimes if we use this the Buddha's teaching, this is like a little bit of insight or wisdom, then it will make your mind calm down.
Yes, Ubeka is already, if you have Ubeka, you're already calm.
Yeah.
When you're not calm, then you don't have Ubeka.
No. Yeah.
That's why you have to recite Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto to calm your mind down. What makes your mind excited is usually the defilements, your greed and your hatred, your attachment, your cravings. Craving for life will make you excited when you feel you are going to die, right? But you have no craving for life, then you don't get excited when you die. You just stay calm and let it die, let it happen.
Oh, okay. Craving for life, craving to live, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
All right. We'll go to London, to Kyuyan Dong. Yeah, do I pronounce your name correctly? Can you pronounce it for us?
Quyên is correct, but Dương it's DZ.
DZ.
But because Vietnamese alphabetical, so we just leave it like that. But in Vietnamese D, you have two letters. One is DZ and one is D with a dash over it.
So you put a U instead in comments. instead of a Z. Oh, this is your Wong. Wong.
Zuong, it's
So
Z. Yeah,
it
it's
should be
Z
Z instead.
Yes, should be, but we don't change it. We don't correct it. We just leave it. People call me whatever. It's fine.
It's just a label anyway. Right? You are just the five elements.
Yes.
That's your real name. That's your right name is I'm 5 elements.
Right. I got the 4, but the 5th one, the mind. I couldn't imagine it to be an element because you once said that how many minds are there on the world? The number remain the same. So they seem to me like individual minds. But then how come it's like, how is it an element, like a sand grain together against the earth element, something like that?
It's not a physical element, it's a spiritual element.
Yeah.
So, but they use the same word in Pali, dhatu.
Yeah.
And we translate them as element. And in English, we only know of the physical element. We don't know of the psychic element. The mind is the psychic element.
Yeah.
So the word element might be misleading to describe the mind, the knowing element.
Right.
But element doesn't, in Buddhist terminology, doesn't mean exclusively for physical element, like oxygen, hydrogen, and so forth.
Yeah.
It also refers to the other two, the space element.
Yeah.
And the knowing element. We also call them element. So you have to forget about the definition of element that you know of, and accept this, that there's a different definition of element. Since there's no word comparable to the Buddhist dhatu, so we use the word element. Okay, doesn't matter as long as that we understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, sure. By the way, I've already bought the ticket back to Bangkok.
So soon.
So soon, yes. I'll go with my son.
I see. Your son wants to practice also, or just want to sightseeing?
He keeps promise to me, so he already promised to me that he would go living in the Wat for at least a month to pay me back. So I just wanted to use that opportunity, and I can go with him, so it's good.
I see, but you might stay longer after he left, or you don't know, or just you are living together.
We're just living together. I'll come back after him, but I don't know when I will come back. It depends on how it goes.
Okay.
This time I will not make any promise. So when I come back.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Never make any promises you can keep, right?
Yeah. But probably I will, with the current situation, probably I will, it's easier for me to be back and forth, like a few months back, few months forth. I will have to travel a lot, but within like for the next 2 years until my daughter graduates, then it'll be easier for me to be away longer.
No, there's no quarantine. You can come in if you have vaccination.
I don't. I just need to buy the insurance. It's easy enough.
Yeah. We have lots of visitors now from Malaysia, from Singapore, from Indonesia.
Good.
There'll be some Indian also coming to see me. They made an appointment already.
That's great. Yeah.
So you have any questions?
Not really. Thank you. Thank you. Just thank you.
Okay, good. I'll go to Cake Yenso then. Cake from Penang.
Ajaan, good evening. Listening, no question. Yeah.
Okay. Siddhartha from Indonesia.
Good evening, Thanachan. I don't have any question. I'm just listening today.
I have good news for you if you want to ordain at Vanya.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure whether it's good or not, but at least the abbot now is saying that anybody who wants to stay at Vanya has to be ordained at Vanya. And if you're a foreigner, you have to learn basic Thai.
I
So he
see.
can communicate with you. Then he will then allow you to ordain and stay at Vanya as the Vanya resident rather than be a visitor. If you ordain at other temple and you come and stay at Vanya, you're considered to be a visitor, not a resident. So because the other day we have a Malaysian, I'm not sure some of you might know him, Y K Leong.
Yes, I know him.
Okay, he went to ordain in another monastery temple in Udon Thani. And then after he got his visa and everything, he came here and asked permission to stay here. And then the abbot gave him the permission to stay and tell them from now on anybody who wants to stay here, foreigner especially, they have to be ordained at Vanya. But they have, before they can be ordained, they have to learn the basic Thai first, so that he can communicate with you.
I see.
So this is at least the condition he laid down now. I'm not sure whether he will add anything or not, or change anything later on. That's up in the air so far. But at least now he opened the door for foreigners to ordain and stay at Vanya, if they meet the condition he set up to. So you have to find out the condition when you come and talk to him. I think he requires that you have to come down. If you stay in the mountain, you have to come down in the morning to do morning chanting.
I see. Okay.
So maybe that's good news. At least there's a possibility that you can ordain here and stay here if you meet the condition.
Okay.
I take this opportunity to say this now so that other people who's watching here now can also get the information. Okay. Any question from you?
Not today.
Okay. Go to Mandy Smith from Niagara Falls. Am I right, or you moved from there already?
Yes, you are right, but I moved about a half an hour away to Crystal Beach.
Okay.
And I'm just renting right now and still doing rehabilitation.
Is there a beach nearby in Crystal Beach? That's the beach.
Yes.
Good.
It's very crystal clear.
Yeah. Very good. So you're in rehab.
Yes. Well, I'm working with a full team of doctors right now for a previous brain injury and neck injury when I was working for the police while I was on duty. And this is how actually I found meditation during that time. And so for the past 7 years, that's what I've been working with.
Is it improving your condition? Everything is getting better?
Things are now finally taking some bigger steps than they were before. Yeah.
Okay, good to hear that.
Thank you.
You have any questions?
I think I forget who asked the question. I think it was Leah Check about feeling compassion or feeling really bad when, you know, bad things are happening around you. For instance, this smaller town, there are a lot of families that live around me. And because I spend a lot of time at my apartment, a lot of the neighborhood children always are coming to me. And a few of their family situations is always yelling, always name calling, always just really, in my perception, a horrible way to treat somebody, let alone their children. So I try to teach them meditation anytime they come, and I try to keep telling them to be kind and listen to their parents. But do you have any other advice?
Well, not really. The basic ingredients to make relationship good or happy is to have metta or loving kindness, both from both parties, from the parents and also from the children. If they have this, then they will have a happy life. If they have,
wish you could
sometimes people just
wave that wand.
People forget friendship, forget to be kind, to be friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much things they want to do or wants to acquire. Then they see that friendship or kindness get in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to have friendship and kindness, they have to reduce down their craving, their desire.
Mm. Okay, thank you.
If you go live in a primitive society, your people are a lot friendlier because they don't have much craving or desire, because there's nothing for them to crave for. They only have coconut and bananas. But they're happy, they're happy and they're friendly. They're happy to share their bananas and their coconut with you. But when you live in an advanced society with so much material, you become possessive of your material, and you don't want to share it to other people. So this is the problem. When we advance in material, we lose the kindness and the friendship that we have. We lose it because we're going after this material thing, keeping it, protecting it for ourselves. So this is the way things work. You have to understand and just let it be, I guess.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You can recommend them to study Buddhism if they like it. But for you to teach yourself, maybe it's not yet possible. Let them go to the more expert teacher.
Yes. I wish there were more temples around here.
Yeah, just tell them the basic thing: be kind, be friendly.
Mm-hmm.
You can, and be giving. Don't just expect to take only. Expect to give also.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to give. Give more and take less, and you will be happy. We are all happy during Christmas, like because we all give, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it only happens in Christmas, during Christmas. After Christmas, we want to take more than we give.
Mm-hmm.
We want to replenish what we gave away.
Yeah.
So we can give again next Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
If we all live simple, then it's easy to give because we don't have to give much. But if we live expensively, then it's very difficult to give because in order to make people happy, you have to give a lot. You cannot just give them a banana or coconut and make them happy. You have to give them the latest iPhone, the latest cars.
Yeah.
In order to make them happy.
I don't know if you find this in Thailand. A lot of people in the West the movement is happening to be more mindful and to practice meditation, but I still find that a lot of people are still suffering. They aren't getting it, and there's a lot of alcohol and drug abuse. I just wish they could.
Because that's what they use to solve their stressful situation. When you feel stressful, you drink or you take drugs to relieve your stress. But it's a temporary relief, and it also causes you to become addicted to it. And then it starts to hurt your body.
Yeah.
That's not the way to solve your stress. The way to stop your stress is to meditate, really.
Yes.
But it's not easy to do.
Do you find that in Thailand, there's less of it because Buddhism is so heavy there?
That's part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, the trend is toward the Western way. People now want to be more materialistic. They want to have nice condos, nice cars, and all these things. So these people, they stop going to temples and giving dana and keeping the precept. To them, it's a waste of time. Only the older generation of the traditional family who still maintain this way of practice with the way of Buddhism. But the younger generation, the more internationalized community, they are much more attracted toward the Western way of life. So in Thailand, we have a little mix of the old ways and the new ways.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'll go to Evie next from Indonesia. She's been away for a couple of weeks now. Evie, for 1 week.
1 week aja.
1 week.
Yeah, it's not important lah, Ajaan. Namo Buddhaya, Ajaan. Ajaan, if someone is being sarcastic to us and we don't answer, because if we answer, it will only make the problem longer. If we don't answer, then they think what they say is true. What should we do?
It's not true. You know it's not true. So when you have to worry about it. When they think it's not true, then don't worry about it. You know yourself, right? You know who you are, what you are. That doesn't change anything, right? When you don't reply.
Yeah.
You still are what you are, right? But you cannot stop people from thinking about who you are or what you are. Let them think whatever they want to think.
Yeah. Is there a way to make that person realize that he or she said was wrong?
Slap on the face, wrap them out. Try to slap them on the face to see what happens.
Yeah, because I just quiet. So I think if I quiet, people around will think that is true what they say. And what should I do?
Let them think whatever they like to think. You cannot force people to think the way you want them to think. You have to understand this fact. You cannot force people to think the way you want them to think. They will think the way they want to think. So let them think whatever they want to think. So what?
Yeah.
Doesn't change your life anyway, right? Doesn't
Mm.
change you anyway, what they think.
Yeah. Finally, I think, yeah, one day we should die, or all will die. So yeah, let it be.
That's right. We are 5 elements. That's how we are.
Yeah. There is no, but
And there's no death really. There's only the
uh,
separation of the 5 elements. The 4 from the 4 element from the 5th element. That's all. It's just a separation of the elements.
So
When the body
no
breaks
matter.
down, the 4 elements go separate ways. So the 5th element go and look for another 4 elements to hang on with.
But if I explain this theory, they will say I'm crazy.
It's like you try to explain physics to a young kindergarten. It's impossible. Don't try.
Yeah. They don't understand.
When you talk about element, you're talking about physics, nuclear physics. Really.
Yeah, sometimes if I just quiet, I feel like a stupid. They see me as a stupid.
That's your problem.
So sometimes, should I do? Just
You
be
should
quiet.
say I'm smart. I'm smart. That's why I'm not replying or responding to whatever they say.
And look like stupid, all right? With people sarcastic to us, and we just smile, and it makes people around look me like a
Make them think twice, really. If you don't react, they'll think twice. What happened to this person? What's wrong with this person? He's supposed to be mad at me. How come he's not mad at me?
Yeah.
Then you might teach them something.
No lah. They didn't question, so I didn't say anything.
Between being mad and not being mad, which is better for
you? No mad lah.
All right. Okay.
Because if I get mad, get angry, I'd be like crazy.
Then it's bad for you. When you get mad, you get angry, and you become restless, agitated.
Yeah. And finally, I will feel sorry. Feel so sorry, and yeah, agitated lah. So best is quiet lah.
Yes, but when can you do that or not? That's another problem, right?
Yeah, understand. And now when I meditation, there is kind of tension in my middle head.
That's because your mind doesn't want to meditate. That's like to meditate. It reacts strongly to your meditation.
It's not
and your mindfulness is not strong enough to stop it yet. So you have to train more in mindfulness before you can meditate. If you feel stressed, you feel something in your head painful, then you should do chanting instead.
Because this is have anything to do with our state of mind in our daily activities, maybe.
That's possible also. If you have a lot of activities, your mind is still restless.
Yeah. And what should I do is just let itself until it go by itself.
You should try to control your mind before you can come to meditation. Control your mind to remain normal, not stressful, not restless, not agitated. Then when you meditate, it will be easy.
Have a happy feeling of arise the happy feeling, so it makes me more easier.
That's right. You need to have mindfulness to be able to keep your mind calm. So you have to maintain mindfulness all the time, not just when you meditate.
Yeah, Ajahn. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Right. Next, Johanna from Indonesia.
Yeah, Ajahn. I think so. Actually, we've been checking on one tour to Thailand. So there's one, it will be around the end of October during Katina. And they include a trip to your place one day at Wat Yan also. So if all goes well, then the trip to your place at Wat Yan will be at, I think, 29th of October, which will probably falls on Saturday. So Tanaja, I wonder about your Dhammatalk 2 p.m. Is it for every day or only for a Saturday weekday, something like that, Tanaja?
Yeah, for the weekend and on public holidays and Buddhist holiday also.
Okay. So
Upo Saturday and Thai public holiday.
So also Saturday, Tanaja.
Saturday, Sunday. If I started giving talk,
Mm-hmm.
there will usually be 3 days: Buddhist holiday and Saturday and Sunday, and maybe sometime we have public holiday also.
Yeah, that's all I want to know. Tanaja.
Just let me know before you come. Tell my assistant when you come, and I can make arrangement.
Yeah, okay, Tanaja.
Okay. All right. Next, Somchai from Philadelphia. Oh no, from Pennsylvania, not Philadelphia. Where are you in Pennsylvania, Somchai?
Yeah, hi. สวัสดีท่าน in Pennsylvania, I live in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie.
It's like a lake.
Yeah, Lake Erie.
Lake Erie, yes, sir. And it's like a mile and a half from me from the lake, so I live there. When I came, I never go nowhere. I just settle here, and that's it.
Good.
And I learned from there. But let's see. So it's a pretty quite right now. Like a situation that seems to be get a little tougher for living. So I think myself that I like to go back to Thailand the way I born before. So it might be better or not, I don't know. But unfortunately, is that I have some kids, I have some things here. So, but when I get enough and I might go there too. So I plan to go for the next year. So see what's going on at for vacation or something. One thing, Mr. Boy told me is that 5 precepts is if you want to go higher, you can sit down and meditate. And I tried to do it twice. When soon I sit that, my mind said run all over the place. It's kind of like almost 5:30 in the morning. Then I kind of scared, thinking the way back and thinking forward on every. So that looked like a not good idea to do it or something. Because
you have to, before you can meditate, you have to train yourself with mindfulness first. You have to be mindful all day long. Try to control your thought, not let your thought go away from what you do. Focus your mind on what you do all day long.
All day long. Okay.
Yeah. From the time you get up, as soon as you open up your eyes, focus on your body. Watch what your body is doing. Getting up, sitting, walking, standing, walking, going to the toilet, washing your face, brushing your teeth. Keep watching your body. Don't let your mind go away somewhere else. If you can do this all day when you meditate, then it won't go away.
Okay. And because kind of scary, then might think about what you did, and
Because normally when you get up, you don't stay with your body. Your mind go all over the place, right?
yes, like you mentioned about mind like a monkey.
Yes.
Run,
So
jump.
you have to tame the monkey before you can meditate successfully.
And like yesterday, I went to repair like a big whole ship, cargo ship, the big. So I thinking about, he teaching me, said don't worry anything about whole thing first, just focus in one thing. That kind of helping right now pretty much for me.
Okay.
I slowed it down, and while I'm asleep and thinking, my thought is everything. It's kind of breathe in, breathe out like a putto, come in and think about it. It's helping a lot right now. And like last year, I think on a November, I think I tried to and come up with January sometime between. So, and you said like no drinking, no nothing. So I think I do pretty good right now. So that's a workout pretty well about that. So
Okay, good. So you have no question today?
No, only it's about meditate. That's my. So you told me that just focus on yourself for right now. Just most important.
All the time, whatever you do, stay with your body. Don't go someplace else.
Okay. So that's a basic one. All right. Thank you.
All right. Next, Rusli. Is it Rusli or Rusli?
Rusli, Ajahn.
Rusli, okay.
I have no question for now, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Looks like everybody else has the opportunity to ask questions. So maybe it's time for Facebook now. People for Facebook. Anybody have any questions, please go ahead. On Facebook.
2 questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์. The first question is from Pai Yao. ท่านอาจารย์, I'm very interested in practicing Dana Sila Pavana, but my family members seems don't understand the benefits of practicing. There are objections for me to practice too. May ท่านอาจารย์ advise on how to overcome this problem and I can practice with peace of mind. Thank you ท่านอาจารย์ May ท่านอาจารย์ be well and happy always.
Well, you just don't let them know things. You do it behind their back. Don't tell them that. If you know they don't like it, then you don't tell them that. You can do behind their back. You can give dana behind their back. You don't have to do it in front of them. You don't have to tell them, today I did dana. You don't have to tell them you're keeping the 5 precepts. You can do this without having to tell people. But it's not their business to know anyway. It's your business to know, not nobody else business. So just know what you have to do and do it in private. When you meditate, just stay in your room and meditate. You don't go sit in the kitchen and meditate in front of everybody. Okay.
And next question from Ai. ท่านอาจารย์ please correct me if I'm wrong. I once read someone ask about ubekha. ท่านอาจารย์ said that ubekha gained from mindfulness is temporary, but the ubekha gained from wisdom is permanent. In my case, I have been very disappointed, sad, and angry about something that happened to me. At that time, my life was miserable. I'm trying to calm my mind down by reciting Putto. It's calmed me down, but I still couldn't accept it happening to me. So when the feelings of disappointment arises again, I start reciting Putto. And when it calms down, I try to realize that this is my karma and I keep trying to make myself understand this. Lately, the situation happened to me once again, even the worst. Yes, I was disappointed, sad, and angry, but somehow I was more able to accept this situation. So I feel stronger to face it. The question is, what I got maybe not ubekha because I'm not good at meditating, but what I do try to calm myself down by reciting Putto, then try to accept what happened. Is it wrong or is it better to just recite Putto? Thank you.
It just depends on what happens. If you're doing one or the other, it's better than do one or the other. But if you can do both of them, then it's much better than do both of them. So you can, both of them sort of work together, helping each other. Yeah. By accepting things, it means you have wisdom. Yeah. Accepting that this is the way things are. Yeah. And so if you can accept it, means you have wisdom. You're not resisting the truth. You accept reality by accepting that this is your karma, for instance. So you can use either way, either or both, really. The goal is to keep your mind calm and not being disturbed by whatever happened to you, good or bad. You can face them all undisturbed. That's the goal of our practice. Okay, is that all? Just 2 questions tonight.
Yes.
Okay, we have plenty of time before we finish. So anybody would like to?
Okay, Monica.
Monica, okay, go ahead.
Good evening, Tan Ajaan. Tan Ajaan, just now I would like to ask further on. Just now Tan Ajaan mentioned about unnatural. So actually, this includes like in our worldly life, whereby when a person is young, they are expected to work hard, make a living, and then accumulate wealth and properties and assets. So actually, that includes in the unnatural process, right? Because
everything that the people in this world do are all unnatural.
Okay, so that means if we want to go against it, so we have to be very firm on it and make our plans, to not fall into that.
Yeah, you want to go back to nature. You want to be natural. You don't need anything. This element don't need anything. They don't need money. They don't need status. They don't need husband or wife or anything like that. It's just the defilement that create all this desire. And then when they don't get it, they become sad and disappointed. And they get dukkha.
Okay, then what about the responsibility that, always people mention, you have the responsibility to do this and do that?
Well, if you're still in the dark pen, let's put it that way, then you have to abide with the rules, But if you want to get out, once you get out, then you don't have to abide by the rules. If you go live in a monastery, then you live in a different environment already. In a monastery, they don't expect you to make money. They don't expect you to be famous, They just want you to be calm, be natural. So if you want to go back to nature, then you have to go live in monastery. But if you live in your house with other people, they expect you to be aggressive, go after, making money, make the name for yourself, This is unnatural. Because it leads you to nowhere. It leads you to a circle. You just go around in circle this way. You go after all these things, and when you die, you still have to come back and go after them again. Because what you go after never makes you content, never makes you fulfilled. You will always feel empty. You all feel that you need something to have something all the time. Yeah, but if you go the natural way, you'll feel content, you'll feel happy, you feel you don't need anything.
Yes, because I feel that because I'm still considered young, so there's a lot of expectation. And I feel that it's like really going in circles, like you're going nowhere. And at the end of the day, and you can feel that actually by doing more, the mind is actually even it gets ruffled easily and it's harder to get calm.
That's right. The more you go after the worldly goals, the more stress you are creating for your mind.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Tan Ajahn.
Tan Ajahn, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, just now, Tan Ajahn mentioned about this sixth element, the Dhatu, because in the sixth element chant, the last one is cognizance, which is Vijnana. So this one, is it the function of the mind or is it the mano, which is the knower?
No, I never say vijnana here. I'm saying the knowing element.
No, but in the sixth element chant,
Which sixth element? The
the
fifth element is the mind, the knowing element.
Yeah, there are four elements plus the space, and then there's also the cognizance, which is
the knowing element.
The knowing
element.
So
the one who knows.
Okay, so it is not the vijnana which we think it is the function.
Vijnana is the function of the mind, of the one who knows. It is contained in the mind.
Okay.
It deals with the contact with the four elements. You need the vijnana to connect to the four elements.
Okay. But in the sixth element chant, actually we are referring to Dhatu, the mano, isn't it?
Yeah, the one who knows.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anybody else? Villa, you have questions from Facebook? No. Okay. Anybody? Evie, of course. Who else? Who first?
Yeah,
okay, Sajaka.
Yeah. The discussion that you had a minute ago about that, which has been going on for ages, about this, the so-called the advancement in industry, technology, and stuff. So like they're causing more and more of dukkha and mental grief and anguish and psychological problems. The physical comfort is actually is creating the world that everybody is craving for. All the entire quote unquote like third world and other people who are economically backward, they're actually aspiring to have more and more and more than they can ever actually even use. Even in a single family, people are hoarding more and more stuff that they can probably never even touch, not even gifts that they never even open, right? But on the other side, that the Dhamma is actually not meant for everybody. I think it's not meant for people who are not there yet. Which I see is very optimistic in some sense, that on one hand, when you're talking about Thailand and how kind of regressing into the same old story about the material gain and things like that, there are a whole slew of monks that's coming from the Western countries, and they are actually, some of them like Ajaan Sumedo, for example, they didn't even know the language when they were with Ajahn Chah. Then and he stood through those things, listened to them, could not even understand a single word. But what I'm actually saying is that the people on the other end of the spectrum who are saturated with materialism really is also kind of have the truth kind of generated in their heart that draws them. Maybe through the birth that you're talking about, they have been exposed to Buddhism in the previous these things or not, but they're coming from completely other places. Like for example, Ajahn Martin, one of I think your teacher's student, he's from Germany, right? So how are all these people from all the strange places of the world gets attraction to Buddhism and sustain this thing, and so hopefully the tradition through you and other teachers will continue, whether it is stifled by materialism and kind of tendency to shut it down, so to speak, because it becomes like rituals. People will go to the Buddhist temple and pray for material gains or something, right? So, and as you say again and again, it's nothing to do with that thing. You can your hard work and get that, but will that bring the peace that we are actually seeking and end of dukkha that we are seeking really? So I think maybe it is not completely hopeless. Maybe it's a cycle, and the people with a little dust in their eyes will see the Dhamma and try to gain as much as possible and possibly in one lifetime, and hopefully in the same lifetime that when we're humans, right? So that's all I actually wanted to comment on.
I think the reason why people are attracted toward Buddhism is because they try everything else and it didn't work. They didn't work. So they just have to try Buddhism as the last resort, really. And it gives you the right answer. Once you reach to Buddhism, you'll find out all the answer that you have in your mind, or the answer to the question that you have in your mind. And all you have to do now is to make it realize it, that's all. So a lot of Westerners, they already know what they have to do. So they don't need a teacher who can speak their language, really. They only need someone who can train them like a dog trainer. When you train dogs, you don't have to use the same language, right? You can train dogs without using language. So Ajaan Suchart teach Westerners like a dog trainer. He could speak their language, but he could train them by telling them what to do with it, by showing them by example what he does. So they follow what he does, then they're learning that way. If they're not following what he does, then he chases them away. So you don't really need much. I mean, in terms of the fundamentals, if you already know what you need to do. The fundamentals tell you what you have to do. Once you know that, then what you need is a location and someone who can guide you, act as a model for you to follow. That's all.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah. Okay, Evie, you raise your hand.
Ajahn, I have a strange dream again. Can I tell you? Can I tell Ajahn?
No, they're all delusion. Don't worry about it. They're all illusion, not delusion.
Yeah, and the illusion is
They're
very funny.
not real. They're not real. Don't give them much thought. Just know what they are and then leave them alone. They came and they already went. So forget about them. That's the best thing to deal with them.
But this dream is just usually this dream appear when I'm lazy to wake up in the morning. Then the old monk was sitting in front of me and he was very old. He is full of wrinkles and have a flat. And he smiled at me. Suddenly a pair of hands lifted his armpit to help him stand up. He couldn't stand on his own. Sometimes have to lift him up. He wanted, and I asked, so what, where do you want to go? He said, I want to go up chanting and meditate. Wow, I was very embarrassed because I am still young and sleeping lazy like this. And I immediately woke up and I realized, oh, this is a dream. Okay. I go to meditate. And in the next day, I was lazy to wake up again. And my dream is there's a voice of my child in the front of my room calling me, Mama. And I realized that is not my child because she is sleeping beside me. And I continued to sleep again. And appear a dream, the horrible flat-faced woman appeared. And I continued to sleep again. I don't care. And another dream appears again is my brother. He asked me, hey, yo, go to meditate yo and chanting. Wow, are you sure? And my mother appears to, yeah, We go chanting together. Wow. Okay. I was very happy because I know they are not in Buddha teaching, like they don't believe Buddha teaching. So I wake up. Wait, this is a dream too. Okay lah, I go up chanting lah. Nah, this dream is like sometimes I feel, is this a god or a ghost who always make me wake up? Because Ajahn once said this is the alarm, the mind alarm. But why I have the beautiful story mind alarm like this, Ajahn?
It's not your business to know how they came about. The way what your business is to see what you can do with them.
Yeah, they always have a way, a beautiful way to make me wake up. And the story is different. I am not thinking about that before I sleep, Ajahn.
If they can make you chant and meditate, then that's good. Then you should go chant and meditate. But you should worry about how they came about.
Oh, yeah. I feel so. Sometimes I feel, why I keep dreaming strange like this.
Whatever you see, whatever you hear, just see what can you do with them. If they can teach you, inspire you, then you do it. If they don't do anything for you, then you just forget it. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. So sometimes I feel, this dream is the blessing dream, maybe, Ajahn.
If they tell you to go become a nun, then you do it, then that's good. See?
I don't know. When it happened, I don't know lah.
Don't worry about where the message came from. Just read the message and see what you can do with the message. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe one day lah, maybe, but I still don't know lah. Everything is anicca, right? Okay, Ajahn. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Anybody else? Any question? Okay, sweet. Check. I'll check first before we go to feeling. Okay.
Ajahn, you mentioned that the bad karma is felt by the mind and not the body is just a collateral. So the first noble truth about suffering, the Buddha is talking about the mind, right? Is it the mind that's suffering?
Right. The mind is suffer when the body get old, get sick, or die. The one who suffers is not the body. The earth element doesn't know anything, doesn't feel any suffering. The four elements don't feel anything. Like a tree, the tree is made of all the four elements, just like the body. When you cut the tree down, the tree doesn't feel anything. It's the owner of the tree who get mad or get angry if someone happens to cut the tree down without getting the permission first. Okay. Like the automobile, it doesn't feel anything. But if somebody smashes your automobile with a hammer, who gets angry? Who suffers? The owner, right? The same way with the mind.
I'm so stupid. I used to thought it's the body suffering, the first noble truth. I thought it's a body and mind, but it's actually the mind. Eh? Actually,
the mind suffer because of the body. Anicca of the body. Because the mind doesn't want it to get old, get sick, and die. That's the cause of dukkha. It's the desire not to get old, get sick, and die. But when you study the three characteristics, then you say you cannot prevent the body from getting old, getting sick, and die. So you accept it. So when you accept it, then dukkha will disappear, suffering will disappear, nirodha will appear. The third noble truth will appear when you see the body as anicca, anatta. But if you see the body as yourself as permanent, then you get dukkha because you wanted to not to get old, get sick, or die. So the Four Noble Truths are two pairs, opposing forces, one creating dukkha and one eliminating dukkha. It depends which forces is stronger. If the third and fourth force is stronger than the first and second, then the suffering disappears. If the first and second forces are stronger, then dukkha appears. The Four Noble Truths is very composed of two opposing forces.
The first and second is the desire. The second, like
the desire and the magga. Desire and delusion. See? Delusion causes desire, and magga is wisdom, and causing samadhi, causing upekkha, causing letting go, causing. So these are two opposing forces: defilement and wisdom, defilement and dhamma or magga.
Oh, first time I heard this, Ajahn. The Four Noble Truths is actually
two pairs, boxes on the wing.
Oh.
For most of us, is the dukkha and the defilement that always wins.
Oh.
Because we don't have the magga is very weak because we haven't yet established enough magga to be able to counter the samudaya, the second noble truth.
Wow.
But then we have to understand the first two, like the dukkha, how it arises, and
understand and know what you have to do. You know that the first two noble truths you have plenty of really in your mind. And what you don't have is the third and fourth noble truth. You have very little of it. So you want to increase the third and fourth noble truth as much as possible.
Wow.
By the practice of dana, sila, and bhavana.
So Tanatan, in order to get to Nirodha, we have to walk the
Yeah,
path.
you have to have dana, sila, and bhavana, 100%.
It's like it works like in order to get to number 3, we have to do number 4.
Right. Number 4 is the cost of the number 3.
Yeah.
And number 2 is the cost of number 1.
Yeah, number 2 is the cost of number 1. Yeah, the desire.
Wow.
Right now you have a lot of number 2 and number 1.
Yeah.
So you want to balance that out by increasing more of number 4 and number 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's the cost. Yeah, I see.
So there are actually a pair of boxes in the boxing ring, and the boxing ring is your mind. Your mind is a boxing ring, and there are two opposing sides facing each other. The red and the blue side, right? In the ring, they usually divide by the color, right? Two boxes, one in the red corner and the other in the blue corner.
Yeah.
So the red corner is dukkha and samudaya. The first two noble truths is the red corner, and the blue corner is the third and fourth truth, which is still very weak. It's lazy. It never practices. But the first two, they're always very diligent. They keep practicing all the time. Right? We practice defilement more than we practice Dhamma, right?
But
you keep craving all the time. Every day when you get up, you start craving already. You want this to be done, you want this to be good, you want this to happen, and so forth. You're practicing defilement all the time. You have to practice magga. So you never get nirodha. You always get dukkha instead.
Whoa,
Get the picture now. Get the picture of the Four Noble Truths.
That's like incredible, Ajahn, like amazing description of the Four Noble Truths, like something, wow. Amazing. Ajahn. Wow.
So, Tan
The
Ajahn,
Ajahn Mahabua, Longta Mahabua called Dhamma and the defilement as competitors. They are competitive. They're competing with each other. But for most ordinary people, the defilement is much stronger than the Dhamma. Only the noble disciple, that's when the Dhamma has the upper hand. It becomes stronger when you reach the first level of enlightenment, Sotapanna. Then it means the Dhamma is now getting stronger than the defilement. And the stronger it gets, it goes higher. From a Sotapanna, it goes to become a Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant, due to the increase of the Magga.
Oh. So Ajahn, the Arahant only have third and fourth? The Arahant only have third and fourth noble truth. They don't have 1 and 2 anymore.
Oh, has no fourth, no noble truth at all. The Arahant reached Nibbana, emptiness.
No noble truth at all.
Oh, when you get there, okay.
Emptiness.
Once there's no defilement, who you gonna box with? when your opponent give up, they him count to 10. What do? You go home and eat and sleep, right? Enjoy yourself. You don't stay in the ring anymore. That's why people don't understand when they say that an Arahant doesn't have to practice anything anymore.
Yeah, wow.
Because the Magga is like a boat, see, that carries you from one shore to the other. Once you reach the other shore, you don't stay in the boat, right? You get out of the boat and you get on the shore and go walk and enjoy.
Wow.
So Tan Ajahn, in order to do that, that's why you keep teaching us sati.
Yeah, that's part of the Magga. Because you already know about dana and precepts.
Yeah.
But you don't know much about sati and samadhi and wisdom. So this is why you need to have to concentrate on. Even dana and precept is still not strong enough either, because you still give very little away. You still want to give a lot for yourself. Because you live high, you live expensively, so you need a lot more money to live. So you can give less. If you live cheaply, then you can give a lot away.
Yeah, and they go to number 2, the samudaya.
Yeah, the samudaya want you to live expensively. Want all the luxury things, want all the comfortable things. Yeah. Big beds, big mattresses, food, expensive clothes, everything expensive. So you have to acquire more and more, right? Work hard. So it's harder for you to give away something that you work hard for. So you still have to do dana and keep more precepts. And also, all 3 of them, you still need to work at them, because you haven't worked to the point of 100% yet. If 100%, then you have to become a homeless. If you give all 100%, then you give up everything and become a homeless person or live in a monastery. Then you don't have any home anymore. The place you stay in the monastery doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the monastery. You can be told to leave any day, any time. So you have to behave well in order to stay. If you misbehave, then you're forced to disrobe. You're forced to kick out of the monastery.
That's such a smart system that the Buddha created. Wow, amazing.
Okay, We have a late visitor. I wonder if she wants to say anything or not. Sulan from Singapore.
Thank you, Tanzan.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Can you wait? Oh, go ahead, Sulan, if you have anything.
Oh, yeah, no worries. I think can let Sunshine to go first. Thank you,
I
Ajahn.
think it's Philip first. Philip raised his hand at the same time with Jack did. Philip, you have anything to say? Philip from Malaysia.
Ajahn, just I think it. Just want to understand in summation, what today's topic. I mean, with starting with Monica, then Sajal, and the rest of it, right? Is that when you are doing meditation, you try to calm your mind by a mantra or your breath, and when you're out of it, you are doing a vipassana meditation with the 3 marks of existence, and also with your 4 foundations of mindfulness on everything that you do. When to actually say it's enough is enough, and to just let it go, right? I mean, it sounds like you must tell yourself that,
No, you have to know when to use vipassana or mindfulness.
Yeah, correct.
That's the misunderstanding of most people. They thought that after you meditate, you can come out and then start contemplating wisdom right away.
Right.
But if you cannot get into jhana yet, then you have to, when you come back out of your meditation, you still want to keep developing more mindfulness until you can get into the 4th jhana, to appana samadhi. And then not only the first time, if it's only the first time, when you come out, you want to continue on with mindfulness still, until you are able to go into jhana anytime you want. Every time you meditate, you can go into jhana. Then you might be able to start contemplating on wisdom when you come out of samadhi. So this is a lot of misunderstanding with a lot of people, because they thought that as soon as you meditate and your mind starts to become calm, you start contemplating already. So that when you start contemplating, you will not be able to make your mind still, because contemplation you need to think. And then that's not the goal of meditation. The goal of meditation is to stop thinking completely, entirely.
So the contemplation after after you coming out from the 4th jhana should be able to calm your mind similarly to the 4th jhana.
Well, contemplation has two parts. The first part is to teach the mind first, to know what anatta is, to know what anicca is. Once you know this, then you apply it when your defilement comes, when your defilement appears and cause your mind to become restless and agitated. Then you use wisdom to stop your defilement, to bring your mind back to calm and equanimity again. But when you haven't yet have any defilement, when you come out of samadhi, you want to teach your mind the truth about the body, the 5 khandhas, so that when things happen, you can use this truth to stop your mind, stop your defilement. The truth of the 3 characteristics of existence. No, but whatever, regardless of whatever object your defilement was, they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. So this is something you want to teach your mind to be comprehensive, including everything. Everything that you desire for, you have to know that they are dukkha for you. They will give you dukkha sooner or later. If you're single, you want to have a wife or husband, this is dukkha. Because you think having a wife or husband will make you happy, right? This is delusion. Because you only be happy for the first few days. You laugh. It's too late already. Right? You already got married. So you have to live with the dukkha that you don't expect to get.
Yes.
It's because you didn't contemplate beforehand. You don't study the nature of this marriage beforehand. You think marriage is always is only happiness. But it doesn't turn out to be that way, right? When you marry. There's both happiness and unhappiness.
That's correct.
So if you study beforehand, then if you decide you want to get married, you say, no, I better not. Because it's not only happiness that I will get, I also get sadness or unhappiness.
Correct.
So this is what you have to study first, to teach your mind all these things before, when you come face to face with your defilement, then you can tell it to go away. You cannot deceive me to think that the thing you want will make me happy. Because whatever you think that will make you happy will also make you sad one day, later on. Maybe at first you'll be happy, but afterwards you'll become unhappy.
Yes, that's correct. That's
So
correct.
this is what you need to contemplate on first. On the nature of everything is dukkha, sooner or later. It appears to be sukha, it appears to be happiness. But the happiness is just a camouflage of your sadness, of your dukkha. It camouflages the dukkha. You cannot see the dukkha. In marriage, that's why people get married, right? They expect to live forever happily.
Right.
But what happened? After 6 weeks, they get divorced.
Yeah.
And people never learn. They think they will always be lucky. They will, they'll be the lucky ones who will always be happy with marriage. As a couple, are they always happy? And they say, oh, we are happy sometimes, but we have issues at other times also.
Correct. That's correct. That's correct. So
this is something you have to study beforehand. If you don't, when you're approached by your defilement, you'll fall into the trap right away. Oh yes, good. I'll take it right away. So this is what contemplation means first, to teach your mind that everything is dukkha, everything is anicca, anatta. Once you know this, then when you're approached by your defilement, you can tell it to go away. You cannot deceive me to tell me that they are good. They are all bad. But at first they might look good, they might appear to be good. But once you get it, then you find out later on that they are all bad. This is contemplation.
So Ajahn, so in an everyday life, we need to contemplate. I mean, whether it be the feelings, our thoughts, even
the object of your defilement.
Yes.
The object of your defilement, which covers everything, external and internal, feelings and thoughts. Sometimes we also go after good thoughts, go after good feelings, but they are anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Yes.
So the Buddha said everything, either internal or external, they are anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Understand, Tanja.
Okay. And once you can understand and remember, then your defilement cannot deceive you anymore. We are being deceived every day by our defilement. Do that, do this, it's good for you, right? Get this and get that, it's good for you. And then what happened later? Headache comes afterwards. Right?
That is so correct. That is so correct.
Okay. If you have nothing, then you have nothing to get headache with. Right? It's only when you have something that it causes you the headache afterwards.
Correct.
Even drinking, when you first start to drink, you feel good, but the next morning you get a headache. Right? But you never remember, because the next evening you want to drink again. You forget about the headache you got this morning.
Correct.
People never remember. They are blinded by their delusion, by their defilements. To go after dukkha, time and time again and again. Going back to the same thing, going back to the same dukkha. To the point where they cannot stop. Because they have been so addicted to dukkha. So it's very difficult for people to get out of this vicious cycle.
That's because I think a lot of people only remember the happy times, the momentary
happy hour.
time.
They
Yeah,
always
happy
have
hour.
happy
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah, but they don't remember the rest of the day.
They don't think of the headache hour that you get afterwards.
Correct. You know, like when a person buys a new car, a new house, you know, they are just happy for a few days.
Few
Few
days.
days. Yeah.
Your delusion always play tricks on you. Trick you to think everything is so good.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, we ran out of time really now. It's a long discussion tonight. Sulan, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm happy to listen.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
Somchai, we run out of time. You have anything really you need to ask? Go ahead, I'll give you 1 minute to say whatever you want to say.
Okay, 1 minute probably enough. So probably take about could be 25 minutes. I mean 25 seconds or so. Only I never tell no one or just about a friend. I can complain about. I have about 3 kids. Or two. I mean the last one. It's not the way I like, the way she want to do. And she always out on the track side. She does the way she want to do it. And I kind of upset and I think about that. And that means I'm not that successful father, or I not just raise them for not that too good. I am a bad.
No, it's because you want her to be like you, see, and she's not you. That's all. You cannot expect people to be like you. They are what they are. They are different from you. Even they come from your body, but their mind doesn't come from you.
Okay, because I want to get this out before I can go farther. I want to get this released out.
Your only duty is to raise them so that they grow up and they can support themselves. That's all you can do for them. Whatever they want to do with their life is their business. It's not your business. Okay. If you want to interfere with their life, that's when you get conflict and you get unhappiness. Do not interfere with other people's life. Let them be. Let them live the way they want to live. It's their own life. They have to live their own life. You just provide them with the support they need if they ever need your support. Okay?
Yes, I did. So they are so like a 30. The youngest is like a 33. So I still think about a little bit. I didn't push them, look like a success too high, but they. All right, I just release and my thought all the time is like that. But anyway,
if you raise them and they can support themselves, then you have succeeded your job. But to want them to be what you want them to be, then if they don't, it doesn't mean you fail. It's not your business. Your business is to raise them so then they can grow up and become themselves, do whatever they want to do. That's your business, and you have succeeded. See? So you're not failing. You try to achieve the impossible thing. That's all. That makes you feel that you fail. To change people is impossible. You cannot change other people. It's hard enough to change yourself, right? So how do you expect to change other people?
That's correct.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe you sleep out tonight too. So I'm gonna try to meditate again, man. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you everybody for joining this meeting. I hope you benefit from this and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And until next week, if all goes well, I'll see you again at the same time. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุค่ะ
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.